I've been waiting 7 months for this. One of the things that was difficult about leaving our last home was how absolutely beautiful the grounds were. And moving into a new home that had absolutely zero landscaping coming from this beautiful area was a bit of a sad moment for me. And so I have been waiting patiently to add landscaping. Now, a little bit more realistically, I've been waiting for this since September of 2023. Oh my gosh. 2 years later, here we go. Come on, let's go. So if you have been following along with our home renovation journey, we have lived in this house for almost 2 years, and we spent basically the entire first 2 years remodeling the existing home and adding an addition and a deck. And so I haven't spent hardly any time out in our landscaping, but that also means that I have a very limited budget to actually add landscaping because we've done so much to the house itself and the budget's just not there. And I know that that is a reality for a lot of people, and you might want to add landscaping or improve your curb appeal but don't have the budget. So today I'm actually really excited because I love sharing helpful tips when it comes to saving money, and we are going to landscape the front and side of my house for very little to almost no dollars. It's gonna be a lot of fun, and I hope that these tips are helpful for you. Now, the first thing that I recommend is just having a very clear plan, even if it looks like this chaos. I knew that I wanted boxwood in front of the house. I knew that I wanted a tree, but I also knew that I had a mess on my hands in our front bed that I could actually take out some of the pieces that are overgrown and are not gonna fit once these hydrangeas get large and move them to a new location. So make sure that you have good written down, even drawn out landscaping plans to help you avoid buying too much or too little. Next, see what you can transplant from one area to another. Our back deck had obviously no landscaping around it. It was brand new last year. And so I took these hollies that were not doing well and were being overcrowded in the front of the house, and I'm moving them to the back of the house so that this has a little bit of structure to it, and these will grow up and help hide that underside of the deck as well. Now, this is a lot of backbreaking work, but it is all completely free. Just moving plants from one location to another if they're not doing well, if they're getting overcrowded, or if you think that they would just work better in a different area to fill in a space rather than them continuing to live in the spot that they were in before. Transplanting saves a ton of money and is especially effective in houses that have overgrown areas. Okay, I admit, I was also fooled. Would you like to see how well weed fabric prevents weeds? And on the underside, you have an entire root system. And then when you try and rip it out, it comes out in pieces like this. Next tip, if you want to save money, do not use landscaping fabric. Very rarely is it actually necessary. You can use it under a rock, but still, I would not honestly recommend it. The previous owner put down 3 layers of landscape fabric that I had to then rip out. And not only does it completely suffocate the soil underneath, but it also limits the amount of new nutrients that can get into your soil from decomposing natural material. It's plastic that you're putting into the ground, and so I really just highly don't recommend it. It also doesn't work, especially if you're going to top it with mulch or any other kind of organic material, because then the weeds just grow on top of the landscape fabric and they're just as hard to pull out. This is the 3rd layer. Oh my gosh. So save yourself some money. Do not invest in landscape fabric that is just going to need to get ripped out in a few years. Instead, you can put 2 to 3 inches of mulch, and that will do a great job preventing new weeds. Now, last year I had put these boxwoods in our back hill, which I had purchased with a gift card, which is always the best gift in my opinion, is a landscaping gift card. And so I actually wanted to bring these to the front of the house since I had my landscaping plan in place. I knew I wanted boxwoods in the front. This back space, they were wonderful, but they were actually too big for the area that I put them in, and I realized it obviously too late. So now I get the gift of transplanting them to the front. And these are only a year old, but we're already fairly well established, and I'm putting those hollies that were in the front in their place instead. 3 layers of weed fabric I pulled out of here. And then I started to dig my hole for the new plant. It is completely full of roots everywhere, big ones too. And then to add on top of that, this was in the hole. Underneath of the soil, there is a layer of landscaping rocks that they just topped with soil and mulch. So now I'm digging through decades of weed fabric, mulch, and rock. And that's a little bit more than I expected. I was able to get these 3 boxwoods transplanted to the front of the house, and on the opposite side, I'm going to be buying new boxwoods with a gift card, and that is another money-saving tip. For the last 2 full years, for every birthday and Christmas, I have asked for a gift card to a greenhouse, and so I'm going to be able to buy all my new plants for the front of the house without actually spending any money. My next money-saving tip is to divide your plants. If you are going to be buying from the nursery, especially things like ferns or hostas or other perennials, then you can actually divide a lot of them and get more plants out of what you've bought than what you actually paid for. So this Boston fern, I divided in half, got 2 pots out of it for the price of 1. And you can also do that for the majority of your perennials. All of the hostas from the front of my house that you see here are actually divisions that I took from my mom's house last year and planted, and now they are slowly coming up this year. Last year they were huge, even for being the first year that I had divided them, and this year I can already see how healthy and beautiful that they are going to be, and all of these plants were completely free. Now, there are times when you are going to have to invest some money into your landscaping. From our addition, this was basically just really, really poor soil that was left behind from digging out the foundation. And so we've had to do some work to get rid of some of these large rocks and add new topsoil. But if there's one thing that I want to invest in, it is quality soil, because all of your plants are going to thrive more if they are planted in the correct soil that's nutrient dense and is not stripped of everything that a plant needs to survive. One money-saving tip that I just discovered this year is something called Chip Drop. And this is where your local tree companies partner with Chip Drop to drop off full truckloads of shredded mulch and bark from their trees that they cut down. And so you can get a ton of free shredded trees that you can use on pathways or in your garden as mulch, and it saves hundreds of dollars. The only downside is that it is an entire truckload, upwards of 20 yards of mulch. So if you don't actually need that much, then you might be able to share with your neighbors or whatnot. But it's a really great system, and so you can sign up for that on their website. 15 yards of mulch. Nope, 15 yards of dirt. That's how tired I am. Topsoil spread today by Owen and I. He used the tractor. I hand raked it. He got off and helped me hand rake it because it was extremely heavy. And now we can plant this side, and no more muddy dog prints, hopefully, pretty soon, from having basically just a dirt pit over here. How pretty these are. After asking for gift cards to a greenhouse for 2 years from every single person in my family, including siblings and parents, I had enough that I could grabbed a few plants for the front of my addition. However, I have a ton of really well-established plants from last year that I actually can go ahead and divide and transplant up front. This lamb's ear I divided from my mom's garden last year, and this is how much it already spread, enough that I can divide it again and bring it up to the front of my house. And so once again, just taking advantage of those perennials that will divide and transplant well is going to save a ton of money. I did that with lamb's ear. I'm also doing it with perennial grasses, which are not any fun at all to divide. But I finally got it done, and after doing one, I did 6 more to put along the stairs in my backyard. I also divided salvia and catmint, and I popped a few new perennials in that I got from the nursery: hydrangeas, pachysandra, geum, and some roses. Now this is going to take a little bit to establish. Obviously, pachysandra as a ground cover is going to take a while to fill in, but eventually it will get there. Now, one thing that I also like to try to save money on are garden accents, and I saw these willow cages on Terrain's website, and they were $58, and I just kind of thought to myself, I feel like I can make that. And so I just went out to my grapevine. I cut some living grapevine off because I wanted them to be bendable, and so the dried ones are not able to be bent without snapping. And I just brought them all in and started winding and weaving and using some floral wire to connect it. And I honestly thought it was going to be a lot easier than it was. But it ended up being a little bit more difficult than I had anticipated to keep all of the pieces in place. And it made a little bit more sense to me why the willow cages from Terrain were $58. However, I thought that it was worth a try, and so I'll use this in my garden. It turned out okay. It's not perfect, but it is kind of whimsical. I made it for free. It only took me 20 minutes, and it's just a fun little accent that you can put into a garden. And I'm putting it over top of my salvia, which once it grows tall, all those really beautiful stems will flow out of it, and it will be a really nice little accent. Now, one more quick way to save some money with landscaping: if you save your dried zinnia heads from the previous year, you can do this with quite a few flowers. You can get your own seeds out of them and never have to buy seed packets again. They're already starting to pop up, and I love being able to just reproduce annual flowers at no cost. Now, another way that we are saving money, but not really saving money, is just budgeting. So we are adding these evergreens to our property line in quite a few areas around our home to provide some privacy as they grow in. These are Thuja green giants, and they will grow to be 30 to 50 feet tall and will provide a border for our land so that we have a little bit of privacy from our neighbor's valley, and also just a lot of really beautiful greenery as they fill in this space to create a nice little retreat in our backyard. Last year we did the same thing with 15 trees down by our barn. This year we added 10 up in the backyard and 4 in the front yard on our other border, and so over time we will continue to add this to our 20 acres. One of the biggest challenges of landscaping a large area is just that it does take a while for them to grow in. So remember that as you're planting. I can't believe how much my Incrediball hydrangeas are already filling in this year. I'm very happy I took out the holly and transplanted that, because over time these will get very large, and so I needed to make space for them. A couple more quick money saving tips. You can plant in zones. So I have left this front half in front of my boxwoods open so that next year I can add more shorter perennials I'm probably going to do some Russian sage, some more catmint, some more cone flowers, things that are a little bit more flowy and whimsical. And I'm just gonna be budgeting out every year a little bit more to add, a little bit more to transplant, a little bit more to divide. And then over time, as you live there, the transplants will start to grow back in. Your divisions are actually gonna look much more healthy than they did even before you divided them. And you're going to be saving so much money in the process of making your home and the curb appeal so beautiful. Now, as for my home, I am going to show you how this whole back bed and all of the upfront landscaping I've done this spring looks later this summer as it fills in and grows. We live in zone 6 and we have very harsh winters, so a lot of the plants take a little bit for us to recover in the spring. They always come back so strong in the summer, and it's our favorite season here in Michigan. Up in the front of the house, I'm going to continue to add landscaping over the years, and one day this will all be really lush and full and something that I just love driving up to. We did add some soaker hoses to help establish those new plants, and I can't wait to give you an update in the future. I hope that these tips have helped as you plan out your own landscaping, and I would love to hear all of your suggestions for more ways to save money in gardening and in landscaping. Drop them in the comments. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next week.